They have no statues, no holidays named after them. Most of their obituaries fit in a single paragraph. And yet, without them, you might not be reading this right now. These are the invisible heroes, the ones who stood between humanity and disaster, not with superpowers, but with conscience, courage, and cold calculation. A Soviet officer who said no to nuclear war, a Japanese diver who crawled into radioactive hell, a Polish soldier who volunteered for Auschwitz, and a vaccine pioneer who saved more lives than any general in history. This is the story of 10 people who changed the world, and you have probably never heard their names. Number 1. Stanislav Petrov, September 26, 1983. The Cold War is at its iciest. A Soviet early warning satellite detects 5 American intercontinental ballistic missiles heading toward the USSR. The system flashes launch. Protocol is clear. Report to command. Command retaliates. But Petrov, a lieutenant colonel sitting in a secret bunker, hesitates. He thinks, if the US is really attacking, they would send hundreds of missiles, not 5. He decides the alarm is a false alarm. He reports it as a system error. Later, investigators confirm sunlight reflecting off clouds triggered the satellite. Had Petrov followed protocol, the Soviet Union would have launched a full nuclear counterstrike. Hundreds of millions would have died. Stanislav Petrov, who died in 2017 at age 77, was never celebrated by his country. He was quietly retired. But he may be the man who saved the world. Number 2. Vasily Arkhipov. 19 years earlier, 1962, the Cuban Missile Crisis. The world is holding its breath. A Soviet submarine, B-59, is surrounded by US Navy destroyers. Depth charges are exploding around them. The submarine has no contact with Moscow. The captain, convinced that war has already started, orders the launch of a nuclear-tipped torpedo. Under Soviet rules, all 3 senior officers on board must agree. The political officer agrees. The captain agrees. Vasily Arkhipov, the chief of staff, says no. He refuses. He argues that the depth charges are warning shots, not war. The launch is aborted. The submarine surfaces and withdraws. Only decades later did declassified documents reveal that Arkhipov's veto almost certainly prevented a nuclear exchange that would have escalated into full-scale war. One man, one word, no. Number 3. Alexei Ananenko, Valery Bezpalov, and Boris Baranov. April 1986. Chernobyl. Reactor number 4 has exploded. The core is burning. Underneath the reactor, a massive pool of water is being contaminated by molten radioactive fuel. If that water touches the fuel, a steam explosion will occur, one that could blow the roof off the remaining reactors and scatter radioactive material across Europe. Someone must open the drain valves. But the valves are underwater, in a flooded corridor, in total darkness. 3 men volunteer. They know the radiation levels are almost certainly lethal. They put on rudimentary gear, wade into the black water, find the valves, and open them. The water drains. The explosion never happens. 2 of them survived longer than expected. 1 died of a heart attack years later. They were not heroes in uniform. They were engineers, and they saved the continent. Number 4. Rick Rescorla. He was a former British soldier, a veteran of Vietnam, and the head of security for Morgan Stanley at the World Trade Center. After the 1993 bombing of the towers, Rescorla studied the attack. He concluded that the next terrorists would use planes. No one believed him, but he drilled his employees anyway. Every 3 months, he marched them down the stairs, never the elevators, and out of the building. He told them, when the day comes, do not hesitate, go down. September 11, 2001. American Airlines Flight 11 hits the North Tower. Rescorla is in the South Tower. He ignored the announcement telling people to stay put. He grabbed a bullhorn, a radio, and began singing God Bless America into the stairwells to keep people calm. He evacuated 2,700 employees. He went back up to get more. The South Tower collapsed. Rick Rescorla's body was never found. He saved nearly every single person under his watch. And almost no one outside that company knows his name. Number 5. The Fukushima 50, March 2011. A tsunami has crippled the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. 3 reactors are melting down. Radiation is spiking. Most workers are evacuated. But a skeleton crew, eventually numbering around 200, though the world remembers them as the Fukushima 50, stayed behind. They pumped seawater into the reactors to cool them. They vented radioactive gas to prevent explosions. They worked in darkness, in full protective gear, knowing that a single mistake could expose them to lethal doses. They prevented a complete meltdown that would have forced the evacuation of Tokyo, 30 million people. Several received high doses. 2 were hospitalized. None died immediately, but cancer risks followed. The Fukushima 50 were not volunteers in the romantic sense. They were told to stay, and they did. That is the quietest kind of courage. Number 6. Tsuné Sugihara, 1940. He is Japan's consul in Kaunas, Lithuania. Hundreds of Jewish refugees are fleeing the Nazis. They need transit visas through Japan. Tokyo refuses permission. Sugihara is told, do not issue visas. He defies orders. For 4 weeks, he writes visas by hand, up to 300 per day. He works through the night. As his train departs, he throws visa papers out the window to waiting refugees. He saved over 6,000 Jews, the entire surviving population of several Lithuanian yeshivas. Sugihara was fired by Japan's foreign ministry. He worked odd jobs for decades. Only in his final years was he recognized. When asked why he disobeyed, he said they were human beings, they needed help. Number 7. Irena Sendler, Warsaw, 1942. As a Catholic social worker, she had access to the Warsaw Ghetto. She began smuggling Jewish children out in ambulances, in suitcases, through sewers, even inside a coffin. She gave each child a new identity and buried their real names in jars under an apple tree. She hoped to reunite them with families after the war. Most families died, but the children lived. The Nazis arrested her. They broke her legs and feet. She never revealed a single name. Sentenced to death, she was saved at the last moment by a bribed guard. Irena Sendler saved approximately 2,500 children. For decades, her story was unknown. She died in 2008 at age 98. She considered herself ordinary. She was not. Number 8. Witold Pilecki. He is perhaps the most extraordinary of them all. In 1940, a Polish cavalry officer, Pilecki volunteered to be arrested by the Nazis. His mission: get sent to Auschwitz, organize resistance inside, and send reports to the Allies. He spent 2.5 years in the camp. He survived typhus, beatings, and starvation. He built a secret military organization inside the walls, and he smuggled out detailed reports describing the gas chambers, the mass killings, the scale of the Holocaust. The Allies received his reports. They did almost nothing. In 1943, Pilecki escaped. He fought in the Warsaw Uprising. After the war, the communist regime executed him as a spy. For 50 years, his name was erased. Today, he is recognized as one of the most courageous intelligence operatives in history, a man who walked into hell to warn the world. Number 9. Maurice Hilleman. No explosions, no gunfire, no dictators, just a laboratory and a microscope. Hilleman was a microbiologist who developed more than 40 vaccines, including measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, hepatitis A and B, and meningitis. Before his measles vaccine, an estimated 2.6 million children died every year from the disease. Hilleman's vaccine reduced that by 99%. The mumps vaccine came from his own daughter's throat swab. He is credited with saving more lives than any other scientist of the 20th century, likely over 8 million directly, and hundreds of millions indirectly through herd immunity. Yet most people have never heard of him. He never won a Nobel Prize. He died in 2005, and every time a child receives an MMR shot, they are walking through a door Maurice Hilleman built. Number 10. Claire Patterson. In the 1950s, a young geochemist measured the age of the Earth by analyzing lead isotopes. But he kept finding too much lead. The contamination came from everywhere, from factories, from paint, and most dangerously from leaded gasoline. The lead industry attacked him personally. They cut his funding. They called him a fraud. Patterson did not stop. He spent years documenting how airborne lead was poisoning children, causing brain damage, lowering IQs. He testified before Congress. He fought the oil giants. In 1973, the EPA began phasing out leaded gasoline. Over the next 20 years, blood lead levels in American children dropped by 80%. Patterson likely prevented millions of cases of irreversible neurological damage. He died in 1995, largely uncelebrated. But every time a child grows up without lead poisoning, his legacy lives. 10 people, a Soviet officer, a submarine commander, 3 engineers in radioactive water, a security guard who sang, a Japanese crew, a disobedient diplomat, a woman with jars. A man who volunteered for Auschwitz, a scientist with a microscope, another scientist with a gas chromatograph. None of them wanted fame. Most of them died unknown. But their decisions, their refusals, their quiet acts of defiance and dedication, those decisions are the reason you are here. History is not only made by generals and presidents, it is also made by people who said no when everyone else said yes, and who stayed when everyone else ran. Remember their names. They saved your world.